Fellas, AC here. Welcome to another video. Now, today's video is a bit different. It's about a question I get asked quite often, and that is, do niche fragrances get you more compliments? Why should I buy niche fragrances? Or how do I stand out? Stand out in a crowd? I've got £150 in. One of my subscribers recently asked me that question. I want a suggestion. And most preferably it should be a niche. Why do I need to buy niche fragrances to get more compliments? Those are the kind of questions I get asked, and I thought I'll address this issue once and for all by providing you my inputs from my experience, my wisdom, whatever you want to call it, and I'll try to make it as simple as possible. So the short answer, no, it doesn't. It really doesn't. Long answer, let's have a discussion. So let's start with what is niche, because that gets a lot of debate as well. Now, niche fragrances, basically niche perfumery is a new phenomenon. If you go to the last century, most fragrances were an expression of the perfumer's talent. It was seen as an art. So even if you buy a £30 vintage fragrance, you will get amazing complexity, fantastically high quality of materials, and everything was just amazing. Ideal. So this new phenomenon called niche started taking hold, I think, in this century, and more so towards 2005-2007-ish. And that's when you see all these houses like Dior coming up with their Privé lines, Chanel doing some stuff, Guerlain doing some stuff. Most of the fragrances of the last century from Guerlain are all niche quality. But you go and buy Habit Rouge EDT, which I've reviewed, you'll see it. It's worth what? £30? But if you spray it, you'll see the experience it creates. It's amazing. So what is niche perfumery? Niche perfumery is basically a money-making machine, right? Perfumery divided into two parts. One is the general release, which is known as the designer release. It's basically more basic prices, more basic compositions. And then if you want higher quality, more complexity, more satisfaction of owning something premium, you pay premium prices and you get niche. I'll give you an example. You get Dior fragrances, normal Dior fragrances, and if you buy, let's say, I haven't got it with me, if you buy the premium range, the Privé, you pay 2 or 3 times more money, and apparently it's higher quality, more interesting, more complex. That's what the idea is. Similarly, there's some houses who only do niche perfumery in the larger sense of the word. For example, Amouage. Now this is a niche house in modern definition. Yeah, you pay premium. So on an average you'll pay 150 to 250 for an Amouage, and they don't do any sort of entry-level fragrances, and they're completely dedicated to making very high quality complex composition, and you pay premium for that. Tom Ford falls in the first category. Creed, you don't get, I mean, nowadays they're doing some cologne line, but they normally don't do anything which is affordable to the masses. And there's another third line, and that is a third house or category, which is known as indie perfumery. Now, indie perfumery is a bit different. Indie perfumery uses materials which are not necessarily IFRA compliant. Yeah, because the niche houses I mentioned and the designers, they have to comply to this club, if you like, of IFRA. It's basically a body which is made by the manufacturers of the raw materials. Yeah, so it's not a government body or anything. It's just a club of manufacturers of raw materials, and they call themselves IFRA. Do some reading up, you'll get some ideas. And indie perfumery doesn't necessarily subscribe to that. Hence, their market is very regional or limited. Yeah, only real fanatics will go and buy stuff from the indie houses. Some indie fragrances are very, very popular. For example, ML Ram Narayan. They make attars, very, very nice attars, but they are not necessarily IFRA compliant because they don't have to be. It's a traditional house making attars, and their attars are just amazing. Middle Eastern houses like Rasasi and Maf, they don't have to comply with IFRA, and they're still pretty safe to use. I've been using them for years. There's nothing wrong with them. So this IFRA thing is just a white noise, basically. It's basically a club. I don't respect them at all, because they're just killing perfumery left and center. But anyways, this video is not about that. This video is all about, do niche fragrances get you more compliments or not? But I first wanted to clarify what is niche perfumery, because there are a lot of idiots out there who confuse the matter, and they're really annoying me. It's very simple, it's very easy. Don't confuse something which is very straightforward, yeah? Alright, so one of my mates, Zivko, I was having a conversation with him on Instagram, and he said, look, AC, I've got these amazing designer fragrances, niche fragrances. I've got the Rogers, I've got the Creeds, I've got the Tom Fords, and what have you. But my wife always compliments me on the cheap fragrances I have. He mentioned Insurrection Pure, he mentioned Kasamat Morhaf by Rasasi, and she says, I get complimented by tons and tons of people when I wear Rasasi's Kasamat Morhaf. Why is it so? Why do I bother with niche perfumery? Because they're so expensive. It's a valid question. It's a very valid question. So why do you really bother? So let's analyze this. Best way to analyze is to look at how people think about stuff. First of all, the category 1. Category 1 people are not my favorite. And those are the people who actually buy niche fragrances believing, it's all thought process, believing that they will get more compliments buying niche fragrances. It's just a mindset. There's no proper research. There's just believing some person, some people, and then going and buying it, and then realizing it really isn't there. Why waste your money? So those are the people who I want to appeal to. So why doesn't niche get compliments? Why would it get? Because the compliment depends on two things: the person who's wearing it and the person who's smelling it. The person who's wearing it is important, right? So if you're a soap dodger and you go and buy a Creed, a Ventus for example, and you spray and you think, I'm going to get laid tonight, it's not going to happen, mate. I'm sorry to break it to you. It won't happen. Now, the compliment also is a two-way street, right? It depends on who's smelling it. So if you're going to a cheap nightclub, just with the intention of getting laid, you'll get laid anyways, as far as you know how to play the game. But if you're expecting a compliment from a girl you met in a cheap nightclub, what would she know about niche perfumery? I'm not being disrespectful, but you know, most people can afford fragrances between £50 and 75 is too much. What would she know about niche perfumery? So it depends on where you're wearing your niche fragrances. So get that right for the category 1 people. People who wear niche fragrances thinking they'll get more compliments. Get that right. Yeah. If you go to a nightclub and you wear this is one of my most complimented fragrances ever. Keeps falling off. This is Armaf's Club de Nuit Intense for Man. This is my most complimented fragrance. I've got a collection which is in excess of 450 bottles. 60 to 70% of that is niche. But this gets me most compliments. It's a £35 fragrance. Yeah. So why does it get more compliments? Because this is what people identify with. This is a clone of Aventus. Yeah. You might say, okay, I'll wear Aventus if you're getting compliments with Club de Nuit Intense for Man. Might as well wear Aventus. Please do. It's your money. Please do. Yeah. But for me, this gets the most compliments. So depends on where you wear it, how you wear it, and who smells it. Right? That's the whole equation. You have to get it right. That's the category 1. People who just believe that they're going to buy niche fragrances to get compliments. Now let's go to category number 2. Category number 2 are the people who I empathize with. They are the people who believe in quality. They don't like the smell of tacky fragrances. Now this one is quite synthetic. Now I'm blessed because I can enjoy this for what it is. Some people have difficulty doing that. And I fully understand, I fully support you. If you're one of those guys who can't stand the smell of screechy chemical substances and who believe that natural perfumery or niche perfumery is the only answer, you may or may not be right, but I still support you because I understand that standpoint. For materials, second category, and I fully subscribe to that. If you want to wear stuff that smells natural or high quality like the Creeds do, absolutely. But will that get you more compliments? Nada. I don't think so. It won't get you any compliments. I mean, Creed disappears from your skin, most of them, in about 2 to 3 hours. You stand no chance, mate, unless you're spraying it again and again. But that's your money, right? That's category 2. Now category 3 is the 3 where I fall in, the category that I fall into. And there are many people, most of them are subscribed to me. You buy fragrances, niche fragrances, for creativity, the story, the complexity, the real X factor that not all niches do that. Some niche fragrances bring to the table. That's why 60% to 70% of my collection is niche. What niche, what do I buy? Well, I'll show you some examples, This is Frederic Malle French Lover. Now, I like green, resinous, sweet, sour fragrances. This smells something that belongs in nature. This smells exactly how you would smell galbanum. Yeah, I've tried galbanum. This is why I want to spend £250 on a bottle. This is the whole reason I want to buy niche perfumery. This is also very unique. It's very high quality, unique, natural smelling. I like it. I love it. And then there comes complexity, complex fragrances. For example, I've already shown you, I recently reviewed this. This is Lorenzo Villoresi Sandalo. I like sandalwood, but I've experienced absolutely everything that has to do with the sandalwood top note. Now this one, as I reviewed it very recently, brings in a completely different experience of sandalwood. The base notes of sandalwood, which is very rare. You don't smell it everywhere. Also, it replicates Mysore sandalwood. It has amazing depth, complexity, richness, uniqueness. It's an experience. It's a beautiful experience. That's why I buy niche. And that's, when I wear that, I don't care whether I get a compliment or not. I really don't. Because I'm one of those people who doesn't look at external gratification for his existence. Yeah, I'm very confident in my own skin. I do not want some tart to come and tell me that I smell amazingly sexy. I don't. I really don't. And even if somebody does, I really appreciate that. I accept it gracefully, gratefully, thankfully. But that's not the reason for my existence. And this is the point I wanted to make. So if you are one of those guys who's just starting off his journey, do not buy a niche thinking it will get you more compliments, it will get you more confident. Confidence comes from inside of you. It's right inside of you. You don't build your confidence by external factors, right? You supplement them. Yeah, that's the image. You wear a nice shirt. Why? Because you feel that you deserve to look brilliant. That's the mentality. Anyways, so I hope you found this video useful, and I would absolutely love to hear your personal experience, your learnings along the journey. We're all learning together. This is a community. We're all learning together. So what are your experiences? Why do you buy a niche? And if you happen to fall in the category 1, what will you do to change to category 2 or 3? Share your stories. I love to read them. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care. Bye-bye.